Should the rest of Canada follow BC's lead on decriminalizing possession of small amounts of hard drugs?
I think it'd be a good idea to ease it in slowly because you've seen it in other countries that have the same principles where they don't have them as illegalities, and they see a lot of crime rates based around those drugs dropping. So I think it would be introduced slowly a good idea.
I mean, there could be value in looking into it and trying to, open up a little bit on the regulation to try and stop all the petty crime that happens around it. And, honestly, it should look more into helping the people that need assistance getting away from addictions.
Yes, I mean, just look at Portugal, right? Like, they've decriminalized it and it's cut down their, stuff like that. People go into rehab or don't feel like they're going to get in trouble for saying they're an addict and they need help.
Well, I think it's going to probably happen, right? I think everyone's watching closely to see how it is, but there's less people going to jails and right for picking up for 2.5 grams. So I don't know, you have to do something because what's happening now ain't working, but if you really want to stop with the drug problem, you have to go through grassroots. You have to start with the family communities because otherwise it's useless. Guys go to treatment, but if they're coming back to the same place, yeah, they got all those skills and stuff, but no one else around them does. So until you start looking at a different approach, then I guess you have to, why criminalize people that shouldn't be criminalized for addictions that don't know how to stop?
I think there's a good harm reduction case to be made as well for not criminalizing addiction effectively.
I would generally lean towards legalizing it more, but do the demographics of it, right? Having more safer drugs in the community would mean less deaths and less crime because we'd put out a lot of drug dealers out of business for sure, right? And then everybody stealing minor stuff and breaking in homes and doing robberies on the spot that people would drop, right? And then people would also at the same time consider heavily about quitting more, right? Instead of feeling like people are always out to get them when they already feel like that on drugs.
I do, because the expense to the economy that it takes incarcerating these people and putting them through the policing system, it just causes such a downfall of a cascade of effects. And I just think it's worth it for us to instead support these people instead of incarcerate them and charge them.
I don't think so. I really don't see the purpose. I actually personally, I don't really understand the purpose of it. I just think it's going to cause more problems.
Yeah, I can see it all over the streets. I've been in Victoria. There were a lot of homeless people, addictions, problems, and I always think help them at least, and like they did there, in the rest of the country as well. Yeah, I've totally been for it. Yeah,
definitely. I think so. Yes.
What is it about that issue that you think the rest of Canada should follow?
Well, I mean, it's not just a BC problem. It's a global problem. It happens all over the world in big communities, small communities. I think definitely if it can cut down on deaths, that's a good thing.
Yes, I think you should decriminalize it. Absolutely. Because you need to give people an incentive to find a purpose in the way they live their lives. And we also need to support people if they decide that that's, narcotics is not a positive route. We need to support them towards something else. So decriminalizing it is one pathway for doing that.
Although I'm not sure it may not promote more use. That's the only thing that worries me personally, but I'm definitely not an expert. And there's enough experts saying give this a try. But the question I still have is everybody says, well, Europe this or Portugal this, but their programs are inclusive, they reintegrate people into society, and we don't seem to have these wraparound services that come with drug use.
I think they should really look at it hard. I think it's we got to be progressive, and whatever it's going to take to get it a little better under control, I'm for it.
Well, I guess due to my age, I'm not involved in that culture, but it's really tragic to see that these people are dying on the streets because of contaminated drugs. I guess it's worked in Europe in places, so it might be something worth looking at.
I would say yeah, to be honest, because I actually learned about this in class the other day about the problem within Canada of the drugs. And I really do think that it would be good to decriminalise them, because I think that it would then not be as taboo for people to use drugs. And yeah, I think definitely.
You think it would help with the stigma?
Yeah, I think it'd help with the crisis as well. And it'd maybe normalise it, so then people would want to... It's the same that would happen with weed here. Weed's still illegal in England. But yeah, I think weed, the rates have gone down now for cannabis, haven't they, or something? I was learning about that the other day. So, yeah.
All right. And you, should other cities do it?
I agree with what you just said. I don't think it would normalize it per se, but for sure somehow help people accept that it's something that there are drugs. It happens. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. But they don't need to be forbidden.
I don't know if it solves the problem here. I guess it'll be interesting to see if it solves BC's problem, because they have a big problem. But personally, I'm a bit against drugs, and but I haven't had any situation where I've needed it, and I understand that some people have a very tough time. So, but personally, I'm somewhat against it.